Yeah, so welcome to the side session, the most exciting session of today. Although the 21 countries cycling one before us was very exciting as well. It's related as well to youth activism, so what is youth doing related to the Sustainable Development Goals. So my name is Patrick Haverman. I work from the UNDP in Beijing, and I have with me 3 young people from China who have done 2 different initiatives. So the people from Youthink, we're building a whole platform around the SDGs. They will explain a bit the platform later. And we have a real panda champion. So Xinuo has been one of the 15 people chosen to go to the panda base. And yeah, I'll hand it over to you. You tell a little bit what the panda initiative is.
Okay, so first I have to say it was really an honor to be a panda champion. I have to first thanks to the UNDP and the panda base, because it's very funny. Actually, I'm a Chinese and I love pandas, but I have never really seen pandas in reality, and I have never been to Chengdu. And since I come here to Germany for 1 year, I have this great opportunity to travel back to China to see the pandas, and it's all because of UNDP, and I have met a lot of super cool people, and we have some talks on what is SDG and what SDG exactly is and what can we do as normal people. And of course we have met pandas, and I also cleaned panda pool, so it was really great.
Yeah, so in short, the UNDP did a global campaign. So we got like 2 twin pandas in the zoo in Chengdu. We had a naming campaign, so everybody around the world could submit names, and at the end they were named Chi Chi and Jian Jian. Something like the beginning and the light of the beginning or something, and related to development as well. And then we got 15 young people together to the panda base.
Yes, 17, but 15.
So can you tell me a little bit about your paper cutting and a little bit about how was your encounters with the pandas?
Okay, so because I really loved pandas, and not only pandas, a lot of other endangered animals. So I have this idea that I have learned paper cutting since I'm only 3 years old, which is also an art which is endangered in China. Not a lot of young people knowing how to do it anymore. So I decided to making this endangered art, to cutting some endangered animals out, to rebuild my own wild animal zoo. And I want to, using this way, to let more people to realize how important it is on the global goal number 15, life on land. So yeah, here's some of my paper cutting works.
So goal 15, life on land. And there they are, the paper cuttings. Oh, we all need to hold one.
So I have met already over 20 of this, and my aim is to definitely make over 100, some different kind of pandas, and also including a lot of other animals. And I hope that using this kind of art exhibitions, I could make more young people to interested in this art and interested in protecting life on the land. So thank you very much.
Fascinating. So everybody loved the panda, that we found out as well. And through that, you love the pandas as well? And then another initiative before we go a little bit like to the question and answers, like Youthink. You as well have like a huge outreach program, and you work as well with the SDG campaign. Can you tell a little bit about your initiative?
Okay, thank you, Patrick. We started early last year, working on Youth for SDG. It's very interesting because why we pick up the SDG. In China, we have 5-year plan, but you never heard about Youth for 5-year plan in China. The government simply don't worry about that. But in international arena, I think we have to get Chinese people, especially Chinese young people, let them know that what is the global agenda, because we have so many people now going out to study abroad and doing, working for international companies like in Mary Kay, and also. So they have so many international exchanges. So finally, we think that we should do something about SDGs. So we created this program. But the methodology is slightly different from what we did in China before and with other organizations, is that we think the population look like a pyramid. You have to raise the awareness of the young people at the very bottom so that you have a considerate amount of the young people who knows SDG and who may be motivated to do something. And then at the second level, they will take action after they will be empowered through online courses, which developed by UNDP. You have a very fantastic online courses with NetEase. And then for those most talented, most committed, they will probably become practitioners in the field in the future. Or they might create their own NGOs or even become a CSR staff in big companies and organizations. So as they're moving up, I mean, the population will go, but anyway, in each level, you have to have your own program to targeting this program. I always raise the example of Chinese male football. We have 1.4 billion Chinese people. People always ask that, why don't we have Messi? Why don't we have Ronaldo? But the question after so many years is that we did an investigation is about, we only have like 70,000 registered male soccer player, football player. But in Spain, in France, even in Thailand, their population registered players are many more than in China. So the question again is that you have to do every level of this. You have to raise the awareness this. You can't simply do training or targeting most talented young people. You have to do this. So we have campaign. We're working with UNDP with action campaign. We take involved in the My World survey. We collected 300,000 votes in China within several months, recruiting over 3,000 volunteers. So these are all the programs about raising awareness. You got to know what is SDG is, and then we have a training camp, and then we have like global exchange program for those most talented, most committed young people.
Okay, yeah, fantastic. You want to add something, Alex, to it?
Yes, so probably I can give some inputs, like the other program we are running in China and also in some other countries. So for Youthink, we have our belief that we think young people have their potential to building a better world. So we develop several programs, probably focus on several topics on social development. The one is for sustainable development goals, and also we have climate change with UNFCCC, and also we are running a program called social business, which is a concept created by professionals. And we talk with professionals, and we all think that probably we put all these programs together with sustainable development goals. There's one idea we're creating with professionals is that we are creating a program to enable all these young people who can create their social business plans as the solutions for achieving sustainable development goals. And professionals met with us, all these Chinese young leaders in General Assembly last year. And he said that to all these member states and also young leaders in General Assembly, that if we can empower young people, if we can support them to start their social business, fully use all this high tech, we can definitely achieve SDGs even earlier than 2030. So for us, we think that we have our network of more than 1,200 youth organizations. We definitely want to work with all these partners, youth partners in China or in Africa, in more countries, to make sure that they think that SDGs is their goal, is everyone's goal. They have their motivation and ownership to do something, to create the solutions, to promote the sustainable development goals to the general public.
And so on the platform from Youthink, is there a possibility to log the activities? So it's like advocacy about what are the SDGs, but if people want to take action.
Sure. So I mean, I can give a brief introduction. Probably Cunsong can give more detailed because he's leading the program. We are building our big data platform with many UN agencies, like a big data platform for young people to learn, to promote, and take action on SDGs. So every young people can log in, and we are talking with several agencies to get their data and also their reports. And young people can search what kind of SDGs they want to learn and get all these reports. For example, for UNEP, for UNTAD, they have many reports on environment, on trading, and then they get all this report in the past probably like 30 years, and then we are working with them. So every young people can learn. And then once they learn all these sustainable development goals, they can form our team. We call Youth for SDG Hub. So it means 1 person to 10 people. So this person should teach these 10 people what is sustainable development goals and push this 10 person register online, and then they can learn. So this is from 1 to 10 and from 10 to 100. This is a model that we want to work on that. And in the end, once they have their team, there is a final goal for them. is that they should create some solutions. It's a youth action based on the goals. So they probably create some goals to end the poverty, and then they will share all this information. And after that, we can, through all this big data platform, we track a lot of data. And also we share all this data, and we develop API with all these UN agencies, and also World Bank, ADB, all this. They can also track all this data, and then we can know that the progress for us is how many young people are working on promoting sustainable goals, how many projects they are creating, and how many people they are helping through all these actions. So this is how we can see the result. We can empower young people, and they can be the ambassadors, or somehow they can be empowered to support others. Yeah.
Thank you. Alex has mentioned the methodology that we've been doing this, but it's always very difficult to unite the knowledge and action. I think it's a global challenge for everybody, for every organization. So what we did is, as Alex said, I just want to give one simple example. We had a trained student from Fujian province, which is and his topic about his dissertation about the bachelor degree is researching a village in Quanzhou, which I think over 20% of the electric waste of the world goes to that town, that village, and the women and the children just manually, processing this. Okay, this is that, and they were researching that this work, how this work can affect their health. I mean, this is very concrete, and we were encouraged. We were telling those, it's not only about SDGs. We're telling them, okay, how you need a team. You cannot do yourself. How we train them in leadership. How can you organize your team? How can you raise your funds in social media, in China's internet? How can you write a proposal? These techniques, these skills are very important when you do something. It's not. I think SDG is basically about those most important agenda. But when you want to incubate actions, you have to tell them other things. You have to create a fertilized, field for them to finally to take action. So last year we tried 2 camps. Each camp have 50 students. Majority, half of them are students. Some of them are social entrepreneurs, young social entrepreneurs. So I think the camp is action-oriented. At the end of the camp, each of them will create a concrete action plan, which they think themselves are actionable, and they are willing to do so. Because you will find the majority of the young people sometimes they find themselves, okay, government should do this, media should do that, but you're going to never change the world if you only think about that. Thank you.
Fantastic. No, and should the government do something? I like the question. I like this question this morning. Should the government make SDGs mandatory material in schools?
Don't know, because I think they really couldn't have any kind of commitment right now in this moment, probably. But I have a question for Patrick. So, because you are all professionals in SDG and everything, so as working in UNDP in China, what's the difference to working specifically in China, and what's the challenge in China?
That's a broad question. Let's keep to the SDGs. I think as the UNDP, we can support different initiatives. So we can support the pandas, and we can support the Youthinks, and we work with NetEase, with Tencent, with Mary Kay. So we really bring I think the civil society and the private sector involved as well in the drive for the SDGs. And I agree with you, the SDGs is just a tool kind of like to make the world a better place. And especially I think we're working with government as well. And so President Xi went to New York, he agreed on the SDGs, but then what does it mean for a mayor? China is 2,800 and the local level to see really like the 35-year plan and how are the 17 goals linked to it. And so currently we're kind of like piloting and rolling it out. We have some kind of like a methodology, and so we're trying to see, because the changes happen at the local level, I think. The policies are made at the central level, changes where people get a better life by using the SDGs at the local level. So that's what we're pursuing.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the question. So I think, anybody a last comment for this round? What did you learn today? What are you going to bring back to China and put into practice?
we're going to work harder with UNDP China, first of all. And also, it's very interesting that still the challenge is how to bring a global agenda and localize it, bring talking the local people's way, make them realize that, okay, I'm connected to the global agenda. This is my takeaway.
Probably 2 points. I think, I guess some idea is that probably back to China, we should build more multi-stakeholder networks or partnerships. We can bring more different sectors of China can be involved with sustainable goals. So Mariki is, I think Mariki and Tencent are 2 companies who are from China now here, to join this. There's 100,000 companies. There's state-owned companies and also the foreign companies in China. How these companies are involved? There's 100,000 civil societies people there, and how can they involve? And also there is, as Patrick said, there's thousands Myers in China. They're just focused on their own stuff. How can these local people can think globally, and then they can learn from global, and then go back, take action locally? I think this is one point I learned. The second thing is that I think I saw many innovative tours here. I think we should bring the solutions back to China, and also bring the solution in China back to the world. How can all these solution-oriented ideas and also all these solutions, all these different projects, we can share informations and learn from each other, and then we can have the best solution for different places. We don't do same things in different places, but we learn from each other. We get the best ideas. We can do things together. It's not everyone do the same thing. It's that everyone we join as a team. Together we do a big thing. That's it.
Okay. Fantastic. So a last comment from the pandas. So about your experience.
Okay, so I think everybody loves panda. Then because of panda, it gains a lot of attention to panda itself. Then people start to pay attention on protecting the environment. So I think SDG is the same, right? So
yeah. It's everybody loves the panda.
Everybody love SDG. Then people pay attention on it. Then people do it. Then we can make the world better.
Okay, thanks so much. No, thanks for the panda campaign, and thanks for Youthink. And together we're going to make the world a better place.
Thank you.